All right, 49ers offense. Second week in a row on the road, unlike last week. And as you can see at this play to the top of the screen, Brock Purdy's ball placement just wasn't there. So this is an out route to George Kittle. We've seen what George Kittle can do with a ball in his hands after the catch. If this ball's out in front of him, maybe he gets a chance to turn it upfield, but he doesn't. And that was kind of a theme so far. And you'll see from this angle, I thought, again, I said this in the last video, the offensive line did an incredible job against number 99, the best defensive interior player, one of the best defensive players of my generation. But here's Aaron Banks, and he's just taking Aaron Donald on the right side here. He's just taking him where he wants to go. But the theme, again, is Purdy and his accuracy. Look at Kittle right there. Look at how he is. He has to sprawl backward to make that catch. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But the 49ers scored 30 points. They were pretty freaking efficient. So let's talk about everything that we saw. Week 2, 49ers, Rams. Let's get into it. So one aspect of Brock Purdy's game that is honestly very impressive is his timing. And that's why the margin for error is greater. And that's why, these deep balls that we were talking about earlier today, some of these off-target throws, they're able to get away with it because he's able to play on time. So let's watch the top of the screen and let's watch the bottom of the screen. So first, bottom of the screen, Deebo Samuel gets jammed pretty good here. And it's almost like he's too quick for his own good. Isn't that, like, you don't see this often, but getting off the line of scrimmage has been like somewhat of an issue for him. So he's right in. He's like not even in the route right now. Meanwhile, to the top of the screen, no issue for Brandon Ayuk. He knows where he wants to go. Gets into his route, widens his release, and right there he's open. But we're watching the timing. We're watching Purdy throw the ball before Ayuk's out of his break. Ball's coming out. Look, hands off his ball. The hand is off the ball. He's already into his throwing motion. And Ayuk hasn't even turned around. He hasn't even got to the depth of his route yet. Throws him open. Boom. Falls forward for a first down. Like, that is what makes this offense go. All right, and here's just a good example of the gravitational pull that happens when Christian McCaffrey is split out as ineligible. Obviously, he's in the backfield right now, but you get the idea. So, high-low concept. Dagger is what this concept is. So, McCaffrey's in the backfield. He's going to run a return route. Brandon Ayuk's in the slot. He's going to run up. He's going to widen his release. He's going to run up, and then he's going to come across the middle of the field and run an in-breaking route. And then George Kittle, he's the receiver to the top of the screen. He's going to just clear out and run a vertical route. To the bottom of the screen, Deebo Samuel's going to run basically a sail route. He's going to run to the corner, and then Juwan Jennings is in the slot, and he's going to run to the flat. So that's how those routes play out. And then this is Brock Purdy throwing Ayuk open again. And these little things, like, this is how you play quarterback. This is a great job by the quarterback. Let's watch it play itself out here. So first off, back to McCaffrey, back to the gravitational pull. So this linebacker, he's going to walk up, give the impression that he's blitzing, but he's going to be the middle hook player. He's going to race to the middle of the field. Watch where he goes. Obviously, he's a defensive lineman. He's thinking underneath. So you have two players guarding Christian McCaffrey. What does that do for Brandon Ayuk, who, if we're only watching Ayuk on this play, at the top of his route, he gets a little hemmed up. But he keeps fighting, does not give up on the play, which helps. And despite getting hit, if we're just watching the quarterback now, muddy pocket, right? Pocket collapses, has to hold on to the ball because of the long developing route, delivers an accurate pass. So when we're talking about one inaccurate pass, one accurate pass over the course of the season, if he's completing upwards to closer to 70%, you'll take this all day. So that was impressive. Just knowing that there's Aaron Donald breathing down your neck. Colton McKivitz gets hit, but look where the ball is in the only spot where Ayuk can get it. So just a really impressive rep there from Purdy. Great concept, and the 49ers are able to execute. I don't think I put enough run plays on here. Like, how could you not when 23 is a running back? So stretch right. This is Christian McCaffrey's touchdown run. Just watch how the play plays out. So top of the screen, Ronnie Bell, he is going to come all the way across the field and try to cut off the safety. His effort was pretty impressive in this game, and that's how you earn reps as a rookie, right? You show Kyle Shanahan that I am willing to block. I am willing to give it my all, make these kind of plays right here. So watch. He sprints across. He doesn't really hit the running back, or sorry, the safety, but he gets in his way. But the story here is Christian McCaffrey, and we'll get a chance to see it from the sideline view. Nasty stiff arm on the safety. But the most impressive part is, so how you execute this stretch run, these stretch zones here, you're going to take some hard steps, whichever direction it is, and in this case, to his right, our left. He knows where he's going the entire time. He knows he's going to cut back. If you take a couple steps hard, whether it's right or left, get the defense to flow fast. 1, 2. Look, he's out of the picture. And the defense just runs themselves out of the play. And now it's nobody, right? Nobody's in the picture. 4 is technically in the picture, but watch what happens to him. No, sir. And a little yards after contact. But honestly, man, just the way that McCaffrey sets his runs up, the way that he kind of manipulates the defense, just within a matter of steps is so impressive. We can see it from the end zone angle here. He knows where he's going. He knows he's going to cut it back. See that gaping hole? Touchdown. All right, another run play. This time, they are going to run behind their best player. What happens? Long runs. It seems like this is going to happen every game. When you put George Kittle and Trent Williams on the same side, good things happen. So this is a 51-yard run. And at the end there, I'm sure you saw from the broadcast angle, McCaffrey gets into Kello Witherspoon's face. A little trash talk there, but let's talk about this blocking on the front side, because that is what makes this play go. Honestly, I know we're only 2 games in, but the blocking is just worlds better this year, and from both sides. So we got Kittle sealed. Aaron Banks has his guy on the ground. Obviously, you got a little deuce block, so that's when the guard and the tackle double team the defensive lineman. You got Juwan Jennings coming across. He's going to kick out the corner. You have Debo right here. He's going to handle the safety. Hat on a hat. And the Rams did this a couple times. They did this with Debo later in the game. Whoever their safety was coming across, scraping from the backside, for whatever reason, they thought that they would be able to get, whether it's Christian McCaffrey, whether it's Debo Samuel, down just by diving at their legs. Like that hasn't worked. I don't remember the last time that has worked, but nope, that's not going to work. And then it's just a foot race. So really, it's just kudos to the blocking, because hat on a hat, everybody's accounted for. And when it turns into a track meet with 23, he's going to win. He barely even breaks stride. And then 51 yards later. It seems like this is going to happen every game, right? Just based on what we've seen so far. So kudos to the blocking. Kyle's going to keep calling it. Why wouldn't you when these are the results? All right, so here we go. Top of the screen, we have Juwan Jennings and we have Brandon Ayuk. So it's 3rd down, and this is the play where the catch was initially ruled a catch, and then it got overturned, and the 49ers had to settle for a field goal. To me, so I think it's a 5-step drop. Let's watch it play itself out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ball's coming out on time. That is about as good as it gets from a quarterback standpoint, right? There's no fat in his footwork, right? There's no extra giddy up. His back foot hits, ball, the hand comes off the ball, ready to go. So for Ayuk, like, this is not an easy catch. Obviously, you want him to catch that. Even if he catches it, he's short. Maybe Kyle Shanahan goes for it. But my worry would be, like, going back to the route depth. You have to get past the sticks on 3rd and 6. You can't come up short. So he needs to know, he is way too good of a receiver to be making this mistake. He needs to know, I can't run my route 1 yard short of the sticks, especially when it's on 3rd down. So that's really the only thing I want to point out about this play. Difficult catch. DB, I think, got his hand in there, snuck in there, made a good play. Quarterback does a good job just as far as, again, playing on time, put the ball only where the wide receiver can get it. You see the line doing their thing. But either Ayuk A has to come up with that, or more importantly, B, get beyond the sticks. So if you go to NinersNation.com, I wrote an offensive tendency report about just how the 49ers personnel usage has been through the first 2 games, and then I referenced some stats going back to when Jimmy Garoppolo was under center. If we use 2021, because that's when Jimmy was the full-time quarterback, when he was under center, the 49ers ran play action 20% of the time, and that was pretty much the bulk of their passing game. So it was a lot of play action. In 2020, they used play action, and that was 22% of the time. That was the 12th most in the NFL. So it's been steady 20s. Even when they were in the Super Bowl, it was 20%, and that was the 9th highest rate. So last year, like when we just account for Brock Purdy under center, that number dipped to 15%, which was pretty low, right? And this year, and I know it's only 2 games, but we're seeing that number, and it's just like this, a lot of 3-step drops, a lot of quick game. The play action pass this year has only been used 4 times. That's 8% of the time, which is the second lowest figure in the NFL. What does that tell us? That tells us that Kyle Shanahan trusts his quarterback to actually drop back and read the defense and figure out what's going on, go with the ball, know where to go with the ball in the right spot. So 50% of the 49ers passing plays this year are quick games. So when I say quick game, it's 1, 2, 3 balls out. Their success rate is 57%, 6th highest in the NFL. Purdy is living in shotgun. He's in shotgun 63% of the time. And this play is a prime example. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan does a really great job of scheming up, right? Of knowing where to go. So if we just watch the play, Purdy's looking to the side. And again, you have Christian McCaffrey out there. So he's naturally going to get a lot of attention. He goes in motion, which kind of vacates the middle of the field for George Kittle. Watch Ronnie Bell in the slot he's the number 1 receiver in the top. By the way, we have quote unquote tight end, Kyle Juszczyk, tight end, Deebo Samuel, running back, Ronnie Bell, wide receiver. Ronnie Bell gets jammed pretty good. This is more of a, hey, rookie, you're going to have to learn how to get off the line of scrimmage. And on the other side, you see George Kittle kind of subtly release, slow off the ball, use a head fake to cross the defender's face. Kittle knows where he's going. Purdy knows where Kittle's going. And then it's just easy pitch and catch. But to me, this is the heart of the 49ers offense. Like, this is what we're going to see a lot in 2023. It's going to be obviously plenty of motion. And Purdy's just going to play point guard, pitch and catch, get the ball out, let his playmakers do the heavy lifting. And so far, so good, right? He's done a really nice job of that. So I think we're seeing some evolution in the 49ers passing game. And while it may not be, what everybody would assume it would be, but it's a lot of quick game, a lot of get the ball out quick. And because they're doing it quick, that's where the deep passes come into play. And yes, he missed on a couple of them, but I think over the course of the season, we'll see Brock hit a lot of those. All right, so this is when playing inside of the division helps out a lot. So Kyle Shanahan knows what the Rams want to do. Kyle Shanahan worked with Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris for a few years, I believe, when he was in Atlanta. So when a lot of times as a defense, when you are, so the 49ers are in empty. This is Brandon. You can barely see him. He's not in the picture. Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel. When defenses play, they'll usually have one coverage to the front side, to the strong side of the formation, and another coverage to the backside. In most instances, the backside corner is going to be playing man coverage. So the 49ers are going to run a slant. They're going to have both of these receivers run a slant, I believe. And all they're going to do is motion Christian McCaffrey in orbit. So he's going to go behind the quarterback, and he's going to run a swing route. So by clearing out the coverage right here, you're essentially creating a one-on-one for Christian McCaffrey. That is what we call free money. This is just a great concept, a great idea. It gets like 7 or 8 yards, so it's not a huge play, but how many times in this scenario, and he makes a miss, he just runs out of space, runs out of room, but how many times will we see over the course of the season anyway, McCaffrey make this guy miss, run up the sideline? I just love the concept of getting your best players in space. That's just easy money right there. So, again, not a big play. Brock doesn't have to do much. Pitch and catch. Invite the rush. And let your best player make a play. So another sign that Shanahan trusts his quarterback is the 49ers are operating out of empty a lot more. At least it seems that way anyway. So we have And when I say empty, that just means, so he's in the backfield, yes, but he's ineligible. Like, they're going to run a lot of 5 eligible plays where all 5 eligible receivers are going to run a route. Why wouldn't you when one of your eligibles is Christian McCaffrey? So you have a high-low concept again. Like, it feels like all of these are high-lows. Brandon Ayuk's going to run 5 and in. Juwan Jennings is going to be the deeper in-breaking route. So the Rams, they have exactly what they want on. If you watch this guy, he comes open. He's blitzing. Parts like the Red Sea, that's exactly what they want. The quarterback could easily drop his eyes when the opposite color flashes, but not only does he keep his eyes down the field, that subtle pocket movement is what allows this play to be a first down. So you can complain about where the ball placement is, but you also have to appreciate that movement right there. So like, that is a big deal. And it may not seem like much, but this is the difference between taking a hit and getting the ball off. I imagine the coaching staff would take that every day of the week. So this is an impressive rep for the quarterback. Obviously, the scheme is a scheme. Kyle's going to get guys open all the time. But that little movement right there, which just buys himself another half second, right? Another split second, another 1, 2. That little shuffle, that's what playing quarterback in the NFL is about. All right, so here we go, 2-minute drill. And I thought they did a really nice job of just moving the ball down the field. This is the defensive pass interference call, smash concept on. So Juwan Jennings, he's going to run the return route. I believe Kittle runs an in-breaking route up here, and then Debo is going to run up and run to the corner. So what Brock is doing is reading the cornerback. The cornerback will tell you where this ball needs to go. And again, this is Shanahan knowing the defensive tendencies that the Rams are going to do. So if this corner squats and sits on the underneath route, throw the corner to Debo. If he bails, you can throw the return route to Jennings. So watch how it plays out. He's squatting way too late. So he understands that this cornerback is never going to be able to make the play on time. Ball's coming out. So let's watch his footwork. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's bailing, has a guy in his face. Gives his wide receiver a chance. And that's what you have to appreciate. Obviously, cornerback is late. Cornerback hits Debo. 49ers get the ball at the 1. Eventually, they sneak it in. But reading the defense, understanding what they are doing, understanding what the object of this play is, understanding the concept. Brock Purdy passes this play with flying colors. Does a really nice job. Again, I think one of his best attributes is just buying time. Like some of his subtle movements in the pocket. He's bailing just enough to get these throws off. So I think big kudos to Brock in that sense. And obviously, like, you're going to get hit playing this league. Like, you're going to have to make throws under duress. This is not a video game, right? This is not 7-on-7. So making these type of throws where you don't know what the result is. Look, he has no idea what's going to happen here. Give your guys a chance. Trust your playmakers that they're going to make a play. And sure enough, Debo does a good job of elevating. DPI. So this offense is able to create a lot of chunk plays. Why? Because Ayuk, Debo, McCaffrey, when these three are on the same side, as a defense, what are you supposed to do? So they're going to run a dagger concept. And I mean, I've gone over this a couple times now. One guy runs deep. Other guy's going to run an in-breaking route. And then McCaffrey is going to be the guy who holds the underneath coverage. So he's going to motion out. I actually love the short motion that they do. So he motions out and he comes up and then runs an out route. Watch it play itself out. There's not much that the defense can do here if the quarterback plays on time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ball's coming out. He will tell you what to do. The hang defender, the underneath guy, linebacker, whoever you're reading will tell you what to do. He comes out. He pushes to McCaffrey, his number 3. He stays underneath. He's caught in no man's land, so he's not guarding anybody. And that tells Purdy, Ayuk's going to come open. Boom. So speaking of personnel usage, leaving Kyle Juszczyk on the field just allows the 49ers to create so many mismatches. So they run 21 personnel, which is 2 running backs, 1, 2, 2 wide receivers, 1, 2, and a tight end, 1. By leaving him on the field, that means you have, base front. So they have their defensive linemen. They have their linebackers. There's no extra nickel defender, right? There's no slot corner. So it's just corner, corner, safety, safety. So 4 DBs, 2 linebackers, and effectively 5 defensive linemen. That is advantage 49ers. What does that do? That means one of your eligibles is going to be a mismatch. Like, they're going to be guarded by a linebacker. So the 49ers are going to run a little play action here. It's another dagger concept where, so George Kittle's going to hold the underneath linebacker. Brandon Ayuk's going to clear out the safety. And there's nobody to take away this in-breaking route. Why? Because gravitational pull, Mr. Gravitational Pull right here. He is always, I swear, he's going to have a double. It seems like there's always two defenders on him. So what's impressive about this play and what I love, and I'm a guy who favors variance, right, in a quarterback. I will take some of these inaccuracies knowing that he's going to throw the ball down the field. There is a player in Brock Purdy's face. In plenty of instances, he would, it sounds like I'm poo-pooing on Jimmy, but this is a pass that goes to George Kittle in years past. And I can show you like 20 different examples. So look, guy screaming down his face. This is where the ball's going. And what I love about Brock is that he's not even thinking about the first level, regardless of pressure. Guys in his face, don't care. I'm thinking second level. Like, is the ball off target? Yeah, it is. There's no doubt about it. Nobody's arguing that. But you also go first down. You move to 6. That's what I appreciate. So concept is beautiful. Execution is there. Quarterback still buying time. And the 49ers are able to move the sticks because quarterback's willing to go to the second level. All right, very next play. This is leak, and this is like a Shanahan staple. Everybody on the internet knows what this is. Leak is where you fake the run one way and you have a receiver sneak out across the formation the other way. They're going to run it with Juwan Jennings, who usually they run it with either Kittle or Kyle Juszczyk, but he's playing the Juszczyk role. So here we go. There's the run fake. Quarterback's going to roll. The Rams actually do a really nice job of covering this play. So like right now, even though he's throwing the ball, he's not open. Like, we know he's not going to be able to, quote unquote, sprint by the defender. But Purdy gives this guy a chance. Trust that he'll make a play. Here's how this play can play out. The worst case, obviously, is an incomplete play. Well, it'd be an interception, but I don't think that would happen. He has no idea where the ball is. He's in man coverage. He's trailing. He's probably panicking right now, trying to catch up. So you either have a completion, you have an incomplete, or you have a DPI. Those are the odds that you're like, why wouldn't you play the odds, right? Thankfully, they come up with a completion because Juwan Jennings is excellent at making these contested type catches, but could have easily been DPI, just like we saw with Deebo Samuel earlier. So you got to give your guys a chance. And he wasn't open, but Brock threw him open, and he trusted that his wide receiver would make a play, and he did. All right, last play here. This is a touchdown run, so they ruled this a lateral, so the quarterback doesn't get to pad his stats. But if you just count how many tackles, how many defenders have a chance to make the tackle, and how many defenders miss, it's pretty incredible. And it feels like Deebo has one of these runs where like he makes 4 or 5 guys miss maybe once out of every 3 games. So look, 3 defenders, like this should be a tackle right here. He has nowhere to go. He beat the block. Nobody's blocking him, and he's pursuing. No, they all whiff. All right, next wave of defenders. He's probably not going to make the play, but he has a free run at him. Like, this is the drill you probably do every day in practice, right? Sideline tackling. Whiff. And then this is a business decision right here. I don't care what anybody says. Look at the angle that he takes. So he's in the screen right now. Does he think Deebo's going to run straight? He wants no part of that. Touchdown. So that's 49ers offense, right? 30 points. If you want to see the overthrows, made a separate video for that. No reason to waste time and talk about them again since we already went over them. But they have special playmakers on this team, man. And I think the point guard, Brock Purdy, does a really nice job of spreading the ball around, executing, playing on time. And that's how you get back-to-back games with 30 points. Short week, so I don't think we'll see a heavy dosage of Christian McCaffrey. Kyle Shanahan talked about that a little bit, where he didn't even notice that Elijah Mitchell didn't get in. They're going to have to lighten his workload. There's no doubt about it. Brandon Ayuk has a shoulder injury, so we'll see if he is able to play. I don't know if I'd really want to risk him, especially since it's a mini bye week early in the season, so get your guys some rest. You're not going to need a heavy dosage of McCaffrey or, one of those 10-catch performances from Brandon Ayuk to beat the Giants, who were down, 20-0 to Josh Dobbs and the Arizona Cardinals. So should be another productive outing for the 49ers. It should be another big day for Debo, and maybe we see maybe it's George Kittle's turn to have a big day. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if there's anything else. I want to talk about the defense, and that's what's going to be up next. I'm going to try to get a video up before Thursday's game about the defense.